Here's 10 things I'll never buy again because of painful, hard-earned lessons. And some of the stuff on this list is probably going to surprise you. So hang with me.
Joining us is my man, Keala Kanae. Keala Kanae takes entrepreneurs on a journey to grow their business. He has done over $75 million in revenue.
All right, the first thing that I will likely never buy again, and this might sound a little conceited, but it's a regular ass watch. Right? I actually treated myself to this beaut a couple years back. This is a Rolex Day-Date Presidential Gold with the diamond digits. Now, this one was a reach for me at the time. I wanted to treat myself to something. I felt a little bit nervous spending that much on a watch, but guess what? This watch has gone up about $15,000 over the last couple of years. That makes this watch cheaper than your regular old Timex. So I will likely never buy some regular old watch again because that's a surefire way to lose money. Whereas investing in masterfully crafted timepieces is an investment that can go up over time. All right, number two, the number two thing that I will likely never buy again, and this one might come as a surprise to you, is an unqualified team member. Back in 2018, I had a CFO, and that's using the term loosely, by the way, who I had fired. When I brought on the new financial team to clean up the mess that he had created, we found out that not only had he blown through millions of dollars of company money due to mismanagement, but he had also taken out $1 million loan in my name because he had temporary power of attorney, because as the business was growing so quickly, I couldn't possibly stay up with all of the new contracts and things that were coming through the pipe. I find out that I have 3 loans, 2 for $250,000 and 1 for $500,000. Those 3 loans averaged out to an 18% interest rate. And wait, it gets even better. Not only that, he took out that loan to cover up his mismanagement of funds, but signed over as collateral the $1.6 million that we had sitting in a merchant account. He didn't know how to get that money out of the merchant, and so he signed over our control of $1.6 million in exchange for $1 million. Said differently, I basically borrowed $1 million from myself at an 18% interest rate. Now, thankfully, I had a new financial team that was able to come on board and help me clean that up. It took about a year and a half, and it was tremendously painful. At the same time, I don't regret it because it taught me a lot about business. But needless to say, I won't be hiring any unqualified team members. The best way to ensure that somebody is capable of doing the job is to show proof that they have done that job and accomplished that mission before. Period. All right, number 3, let's dive in, and that is cable television. I will definitely not be signing up for any cable television, especially not with all of these amazing streaming services where I get to watch only the things that are most important to me on demand. All right, number 4 is gonna be fast food. I definitely won't be buying any fast food. I can't even really remember the last time that I had fast food. Wait, Sam, is Chick-fil-A fast food?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely nutritious. These are God's chicken nuggets. Oh, man.
God's chicken nuggets. Well, I take it back then, okay? I have had a couple of Chick-fil-A occasions over the last few years during long road trips. But for the most part, I will not be eating any fast food. I can't remember the last time I had a Taco Bell. All right, moving on. Number 5 of the things that I will never buy again, specialized kitchen gadgets. I don't know where I keep finding these things and why I keep adding them to my cart on Amazon or when we're out at a grocery store at some point. But there's so many times I walk into my kitchen and I pick up something, I'm like, what the hell is this? Listen, cooking is not very high in my values. I'm not necessarily good at that. I should probably reheat a pizza. I can definitely grill up a steak though. Ask anybody who knows me well. But besides that, I really don't need any specialized kitchen gadgets. I should leave that stuff to the people who are great at cooking and really focus and stay honed in on the things that are highest in my values. Number 6, anything that says as seen on TV. I don't know about you, but I've never brought home something that said as seen on TV, unboxed that thing and thought, wow, what an amazing gadget. Not even once. It's like a pizza pocket. You immediately regret it. Number 7, alcohol alternatives. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I like to have, a glass of wine in the evenings while I kick back and unwind from a long day. Sometimes that might even turn into, a glass of bourbon. And at one point, I actually thought to myself, well, maybe I could find some cool, alcohol alternatives that I could enjoy in order to unwind in the evening without having that excess alcohol in my system, right? So I go online and buy a bunch of different alcohol alternatives. I can tell you, this is the worst tasting, most nasty stuff that I've ever put in my mouth. Don't go there. Seriously, this thing is like maple syrupy flavored, I don't know, it's just awful. So listen, I'm either gonna have alcohol or I'm just not going to drink alcohol. I'm definitely skipping over the alcohol alternatives in the future. All right, number 8, my friends, number 8. Timeshares. I just can't understand this whole timeshare thing. I really don't get it. The last thing I want is to pay for something and then feel that every year when I finally have some time off, I gotta go to that same place because I've been paying for it all year long. I really don't get it, man. Kudos though to the timeshare selling folks who have created an epic sales funnel that converts like bonkers despite the high pressure involved. Just not for me. Number 9 is going to be any sort of complex tools. I'm talking about hardware tools. Similar to, specialized kitchen gadgets, I really don't belong in the garage trying to build just about anything. Now, I don't know what it is. I walk through a Home Depot, I see some stuff, and I get that old Tim Allen feeling of like, manly. I gotta get there. I feel like a man. But really, I don't belong doing any of that stuff, especially not anything with any sharp edges. Give me a drill bit, a power driver, whatever it is, and I can screw some stuff into the wall, make some holes, that sort of thing. But beyond that, I am a complete danger to the rest of humanity. Again, not high in my values. I'm better off staying focused on the things that are high in my values and delegating, complex tools and building stuff to the people who are great at that. And finally, number 10 is giant reptiles. I have to admit that I have had a reptile fascination ever since I was a kid. I used to love sleeping over at my grandparents' house as a child because my grandfather and I would get up early in the morning and go out and catch lizards in the backyard. And I grew up in Hawaii, so we would catch these little green anoles and put them in old U-Bahn coffee cans and whatnot. So I've always been fascinated by reptiles. And when I first moved out to Las Vegas, I got my hands on a couple of tegus. I had a female blue tegu and a male Chicoan black and white tegu. Now these lizards get fairly big. And my Chicoan male was almost 5 feet long. And I had tasked my housekeeper at the time with taking care of these modern day dragons. So I had a couple of custom built cages in my house. She would take them out every morning. She would put the food out, chopping up raw chicken and some grapes and whatnot. And she would put the food out, she would let them eat. And they each had to come out separately so that they wouldn't fight or, worst case, even mate, because the last thing I needed was a bunch of baby dragons running around the house. Although I did second guess that after becoming a fan of Game of Thrones. But again, I digress. At one point though, my housekeeper quit, probably not related to the fact that she had to feed dragons every day. And then I had to start taking care of these massive reptiles, and I quickly realized that this was taking about an hour to an hour and a half every day out of my life. And at that point, I just could not justify it any longer. Eventually, I rehomed those animals and found them a good home. And as much as I love big reptiles, I will probably never make that investment again. So listen, there's 10 things that I'll never buy again. Hopefully you were mildly entertained, and here's really what it all boils down to. I would rather not spend my money on things that are going to depreciate. I'd rather spend it on things that are going to appreciate. As an example, this watch. I don't want to spend my money on things that are low in my values. I want to spend my money on things that are high in my values. I don't want to spend money on things that are going to deteriorate my health, except really good bourbon, because I really have a love affair with that. And I don't want to spend money on things that are going to chew up a ton of my time because, again, my time is best invested in the things that are going to help me achieve my goals and dreams in life. If you are somebody who is committed to, success in life and in business, then make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification so you get notified every week when I drop more content. Well, not exactly like this, but typically more on the topic of success in business and in life. And in case we've never met before, my name is Keala Kanae. I am an entrepreneur who got started a few short years ago while working in a coffee shop like this, and I've gone on now to build multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses. I say that so that you know that everything I share on my channel comes from the real world applied knowledge of things that I've learned and executed that have helped me create those results in life. And I share them here in hopes that they help you create similar results as well. So make sure that you subscribe, hit that little bell notification, and watch this next video in the lineup. I'll see you there.